My name's Amy Cinnamon. I'm a hypnotist and a personal development coach, and I help people with anxiety and stress to overcome those fears and those barriers so that they can feel confident and comfortable in their own skin. Really just about being confident about who they are as a person. I also support schools with young people who are suffering with the stresses of school life, just coping with school in general, exam stress. Those young people are also at risk of exclusion. And I remember being in a meeting with my boss, and she said to me, Amy, why haven't you done any assemblies yet? And in that moment, I was just like, uh, like I couldn't speak, my heart was racing, like I was just like a rabbit caught in the headlights. And I could feel myself in that moment, like getting redder and redder, like just like how water fills up a bottle. But it wasn't water, it was shame, it was guilt that had started to spill over. You see, being confident for me when I was growing up came at a very high cost. I was ridiculed for how I spoke. I didn't speak proper, so I was sent to elocution lessons. And when I was about 7 years old, I spoke up to a person in my family who I trusted the most, who I had the most respect for, who I loved the most, about a family member who was abusive. And I was ignored. I was told to stop being silly, don't be daft, we don't say things like that. And in that moment, my little brain just made sense of the whole situation by saying, right, that's it. Don't ask for help. Don't share anything with anybody. Don't speak. And hello. And then you're not going to get told off for anything. You're not going to get corrected. You're not going to get it wrong. So it was very much this idea of just keeping myself safe. And that had a huge impact on my education. I didn't ask for help in class. I didn't put my hand up. It had a huge impact on my relationships. And so you can imagine that the downside to the lack of confidence. And it wasn't until I actually started working in schools that I realised how much it was actually impacting me on my personal and professional life. And I also have 2 young children as well. And I didn't want those guys to be in a situation where they couldn't feel like they could use their voice, or they didn't feel confident enough to be able to speak up or say whatever was on their mind, or just, in general, just be themselves. So ever since that day, I made it my mission to not only overcome my own fears of public speaking or just speaking in front of people of authority, or just in general having a conversation with somebody without thinking, am I saying it right? Do I sound right? Can they understand me? I was always checking in with people. Was that clear for you? Do you get what I mean? We used to do a lot of that. And during that process, I came across many different ways of overcoming my own stuff and helping other people. And amongst all things, hypnosis was one of those things that really stood out for me, one of those things that really grasped my attention. And so for 10 years now, that's exactly what I've been doing. As I'd said at the beginning, in those areas that I work with, that's my main priority, is to help people get them to a level of confidence where they feel good about themselves so that they can overcome those fears, those things that might just be holding them back. Today, I'm going to share with you a couple of those techniques that I tend to use with all of my clients, and it doesn't matter what they come to me for. This is always better to show rather than tell. So all I want you to do for this, is have your hands and feet just out relaxed. And then, have yourself, do you want to sit on that puffy? And in this position, all I want you to do is to drop your head and have your eyes looking down. And just be slumped a little bit, like your shoulders drop forward, chin down, eyes down. And in this position, now it might seem a bit counterintuitive what I'm going to ask you to do, but just go with it for the demonstration purposes. So in this position, I want you to think about that thing that you're scared to do, that thing that you might be lacking in confidence in. I mean, it could be clowns, whatever it is for you. Just pick something scary, pick something that you're fearful of, pick something that you've avoided, and just think about that with those eyes down, head down, and notice what it's like for you in this position. Now stay in that same position, keeping that head down, eyes down. I want you to now try and think about something really positive for you, something that would normally have you absolutely buzzing, jumping for joy, whatever that is. Try and think about that now and notice what that's like, keeping that head down, eyes down. And just notice what it's like in this position. Good. Now everybody sit yourselves up. Have your head up, have your shoulders back, have your chest up, so back nice and straight, chest up, shoulders back, chin slightly up, and have your eyes looking up. Now in this position, eyes up, there you go. In this position, I want you to try and think about that same sad thing whilst looking up, and just same scary thing, sorry, we did scary. That same scary thing with those eyes up. Notice what it's like in this position. Keeping those eyes up. It's so tempted to pull the eyes down. Keep them up. Yeah. Now stay in that position, and this time I want you to think about that really positive thing that has you absolutely buzzing, jumping for joy, whatever that is for you. Think about that now in this position and notice what it's like for you now. Good. And then just relax, come back to normal, and just, I want to ask people, what was that like? What did you notice about that?
I noticed with my head up, the first thing I was scared of, my voice, my throat felt so vulnerable.
Yeah.
I felt really like, ah. And then as soon as you're saying about, okay, the things you're really excited about, and then it eased a little bit when shoulders dropped, and I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Nice, right?
Picking up the nice thing like that would be comfortable for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
stop intrusive thoughts around that subject, so they didn't come in for some reason. Normally, I was like more calm.
When you tried to think of it looking up.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wasn't getting carried on the thoughts.
Yeah. Weird, right? What about you? What did you
Right,
notice?
so I found that really difficult because I've been working through my fears, so I couldn't think of anything I was afraid of.
Well, that's awesome.
I've got lots of fears, but at this minute, because I feel so calm and I can't think of what they're.
Yeah, and that's fine. And that's fine. Yeah.
So I found really difficult.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. You go there when you're ready to go there. That's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense to do it because I could, despite us struggling to think about what my fears were, I could feel the empowerment when I was looking up.
Yeah, so that was going to be my question. So when you were trying to think of the enjoyment thing, the pleasurable thing, the positive thing looking down, what was it like when you were in that sort of down position trying to think of it?
I could feel the difference between them two positions.
Yeah.
Regardless of what my thoughts were.
Yeah, so like the intensity of the emotion was different. Yeah, excellent. Yeah. Anyone else want to share?
When we were looking up, I couldn't connect with my fearful thing.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's that same situation for that lady who, for the writer, she had this fear of getting it published, but when she thought about getting it published, looking up, it was like, oh yeah, it's just not scary at all. Like the intensity of the emotion of the fear just wasn't there anymore. It's very different. So all that's, I mean, it's a hypnotic strategy, and it's been used in hypnosis since the dawn of time and in other therapies. But essentially, you're changing what's going on at a biochemical level in the body just by changing and shifting your position allows you to have a different response. So when you're caught in that moment of, I want to do this, but how are you sat when you're thinking about it? That's really what I want you to take from this. Have that awareness of, what's my position like? Am I thinking about what I'm going to do next like this? Am I looking in my diary thinking, oh God, I've got that on Wednesday, this on Tuesday, and kind of creating the dread by accident, just totally unaware because of the position that your body's in. Yeah, because this slumped position immediately communicates to the brain the message of that we're in a victim mode. So we end up with a different set of chemicals being released. If we think about that thing sat up, I mean, even just having your head up and shoulders back immediately sends a different message to the brain. It sends a different message to the people around you that you're in charge, you're confident, you know what you're doing, you know where you're going. So you're getting a different set of chemicals released. Make sense?
Is that like the same thing? Keep your chin up, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have it in our language, don't we? Just keep your head up. One of the things I'll always battle with in school is this dialogue of just keep your head down and work hard. I'm like, no, everybody sit up. Yeah, but we say it with positive intentions, don't we? Just get your head down and soldier on. But actually, it's probably the worst advice we give ourselves. Head up and soldier on. Much better. Yeah. All right. So that's the first one. And I am going to give you all a cheat sheet at the end so you get all of these techniques, like just to kind of refresh your brain. This next one is what I call Fists of Fury, but that is not the technical name. All right, that's my name for it. It's how I remember it. And this is one of those techniques that works in the sense of in a reactionary situation. So it might be that something's just happened this morning or yesterday, and you know when it's like just playing on your mind and you can't, like when you've had an argument with somebody and you're like, I wish I said this, I wish I said that, or you're replaying the whole scenario and you're adding your own little bits and you're making it more extravagant than what it was, and you know you're making it worse than what it was. This is great for that. It's also great for moments where we might just be stuck. If it might not be a recent thing, it might be months ago, but then the moment we think about it, those feelings all just come flooding back straight away. And it's an easy, simple one. It's a very popular one in hypnosis because it allows you to kind of bypass the whole looking at the why, the what, the how, the when, and the whole dialogue around it, which sometimes for some people, they might not always have those skills to be able to do that, or depending on where they are in their journey, they might not have the ability to do that. So this is a great one for young people who might not have the words yet to kind of explain their situation or to talk it out. But it's one of those ones that I'll always teach all of my clients as part of the program that they do with me. Okay, so for this one, have your hands separated. And I'm going to ask you to think of something that has recently pissed you off, recently frustrated you for whatever reason. Now, please don't pick every single time you've been pissed off. Remember, this is a group session, right? If it's a big thing, come and see me at the end. But go for something that's, say, like on a scale, say 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest, 10 being the highest. Go with something about a 3 or a 4, maybe a 5, but just stay on this side of the scale, okay? And I want you to begin to think about a specific time over the last week, over the last month, where somebody said something, or maybe you said something to yourself, you know, like those days when we call ourselves an idiot, or, you know, just perhaps something was stressful for you in whatever way. Take a nice deep breath in. Close your eyes on down and just take your mind to that specific time. Just pick one, not every single time, or connect with that feeling of frustration, whatever that is for you, or that feeling of being pissed off, and take your left hand and squeeze it into a fist. That's it. And I want you to turn up that negative sensation just a little bit more as you squeeze that fist even tighter. Turn it up even more if you squeeze that fist even tighter, as if you're going to feel that feeling for the last time. Turn it all the way up. Squeeze into that negative feeling. Squeezing that fist tighter and tighter, letting that feeling tip over the scales. Let it go to a 5, let it go to a 6 or a 7. And then just release that fist, relax that feeling. Just take a breath, open your eyes. Good. Easy, right? First step. All right. Keep that left hand just as it is. So when we go through the next process, don't let it close, don't let it touch anything. And this time, you're going to think about something really positive and you're going to squeeze the right hand. Okay? So nice deep breath in. Close those eyes on down again as you breathe on out, and squeeze your right hand as you think about those positive things in your life, those things that bring you joy. And this can be many things, and you can stack them on top of each other. So it might be your loved ones, it might be dancing, you know, running naked on the beach, whatever it is for you. Squeeze that right hand as you think about all of those positive sensations now. Breathe into that, squeeze that right hand tighter and tighter, tighter and tighter as you turn up those positive sensations. Just like getting a dimmer switch, going all the way from 0 all the way up to 100. Increase it, make it bigger, better, brighter in whatever way is right for you, and then release that hand. Open those eyes, breathe, take a breath. Good. And we're going to do that one more time. Close those eyes on down. Squeeze that right hand as you think about all of those wonderful things in your life. As you squeeze that hand, allow those sensations to increase. Bigger, better, more intense, even brighter, even stronger. Breathe into that positive sensation and then release that right hand. Relax, open those eyes, take a breath. Good. And one more time on the right hand. Take a nice deep breath in. Breathe on out, close those eyes on down, squeeze that right hand again, squeeze into all of those positive things that bring you joy in your life, whatever that might be for you, and turn up that sensation, increase it even more so it's bigger, better, brighter, whatever way is right for you, more intense. Squeeze into it, make it better, breathe into that, and then release, relax. Good. Well done. All right, keep your hands about. Sorry. All right, so this next step, I'm going to ask you to close your eyes on down and I'm going to count to 3. And when I count to 3, specifically on the number 3, that's when I want you to squeeze both hands down together at the exact same time. And when we do that, I want you to project yourself into a situation similar to that old problem, only this time with better outcomes, with better resources, better skills than what you might give yourself credit for. Ready? Nice deep breath in. Close those eyes as you breathe on out. Just get ready to squeeze both hands on my count of 3 as 1, 2, 2.5. Got yours. And 3. Squeeze both hands down. Project yourself into a more empowered outcome. Notice what it's like now. To go through a similar situation, only this time with better resources, better capabilities and skills available to you. And when you've done that for yourself, allow those eyes to open, those hands relaxed. That's right. Good. And then close your eyes back down again and just try and access that old situation and notice what's different now when you try and think about that old situation. And then when you're satisfied with that, open your eyes. Good. Would anyone like to share what that was like for them? You couldn't find it when you tried?
Yeah. Couldn't find it.
Yeah. Same for you?
Yeah.
I had like a sense of like,
Yeah.
like not this, like, happens. So I could still feel the situation, but I was a bit more like, yeah, that's annoying. But I imagine myself being polite with it.
Yeah, I felt more like equal and empowered in the situation, and less threatened by it.
Yeah.
2 hands immediately feel waterproof.
Yeah. Anyone else want to share? Okay.
Just acceptance of that. We did it all together. It was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
There's no need to worry about that.
I think even for me, the intention, it was just calm and it helps. That I was intended to do something like this actually helps me. It's more sensibility.
Yeah.
So is that working with gratitude then?
Well, you're essentially, so when we have an issue, a situation, and we fire up an emotion, we have an imprint of that. So then when we think about that emotion, the same old emotion's there. So unless we change it or go back and see it from a different perspective, it's just going to stay the same. So if you think about it from the aspect of the brain where we're just using one neural pathway to think about a certain thing, it's firing off a certain emotion. Well, the way I like to think about this is that we create two pathways. So we end up going down a different route rather than the same one. It's like we have a choice. Because if you really wanted, you could feel pissed off about it again. But now you're in a position of choice.
But I wasn't necessarily thinking about anything to do with that person. It was
Yeah.
just about my life in general and the things that I'm grateful for, really. So
Yeah.
I was kind of accessing that power to do with
I see,
this
yeah.
thing that was nothing to do with that.
Well, that's it. It's using what resources you've got available to you. And if you think about when we allow somebody to get to us or in that moment that stays with us, are we using our resources at that time? Are we in the best state? Because we put a lot of blame on the other person, don't we? You think, well, it's their fault, I'm pissed off. But really, if you were in a better place with yourself at that time, like if you were accessing your gratitude, if you were accessing your calmness or your composure or whatever it might be, the situation's would have turned out very differently. Does that make sense?
Like on different days, the same situation can affect me differently.
Yeah, depending on what state of mind you're in. Yeah.
I guess also when you think back to a situation, like because you've had all the thoughts of all the things that you love in your life that you like feel really positive about, like
Yeah.
that thing becomes like a lot smaller. It's like it's not as big a deal. You're like, yeah, but I've got all this like in the back of my brain, isn't it? Of,
Yeah, it's a different perspective. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. So whatever you access for your positive thing is entirely up to you. Like, so for me, I'll do bungee jumping because it's like, whoa, like, oh, like super loads of energy. But that's what I need to just be confident, just to be kayaking, you know, like, and for others, it can be that gratitude. For others, it might just be sat on a hilltop, just watching the world go by. Whatever it takes, really. But it's the benefit of the technique is that it allows you to put yourself in a different state. So when it's that moment where it's like, you know, it's now the afternoon and I've spent 5 hours like a broken record going around in my own head and I've made no progress throughout my day whatsoever because I've, you know, for whatever it may be. And it might be because you don't feel confident doing something, you don't feel confident doing the thing you've been asked to do, so you're procrastinating, you're putting it off, you're sabotaging yourself, all of those things that we could all, you know, we could all do some real therapy over. But actually you can do that technique and you can move on to the next step very quickly and just bypass, because that's all we're dealing with is an emotion, and we're responding and creating meaning from a feeling that we've got. Does that make sense?
yeah.
So if we create a different meaning or we apply new information to that situation, all of a sudden the feeling changes and we're good to go. So thinking about kind of your own lives, thinking about using that, does anybody feel like it's something that they could use like quite easily? You know, think about the thing that's annoyed you, frustrated you, the person, the situation, the thing on the left. Squeeze into it and then, all right, what do I love? What's amazing?
I think it could really help me with when I like procrastinate on stuff because I get so like then bogged down in all the detail of I've got to do this, and it becomes like too big a thing. So then I go, oh, I can't be bothered with that. I'll do it later, and then my brain forgets that I wanted to do it, and then like, that would really help to like think of like all the things of why I want to do it, what's really great about it, and then it might help me come back to just getting on with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's,
I don't think you're squaring up for a fight with it.
yeah, exactly. That's why I call it fists of fury, because by the time everyone's done the left fist, they're like, right, who's having it? You know, like they're ready for a fight. But yeah, because I mean, when we think about confidence, what even is confidence anyway? Like, what is this? Pardon?
A lot of it's fake confidence, isn't it? Sometimes it can be.
Yeah. So
So that's all right, though, as long as if it works for you, I suppose. But is it? I suppose.
well, it's like that saying, "Feel the fear and do it anyway," isn't it? Could that be defined as confidence?
Exactly.
Mm.
Some people are so
Yeah, being brave, being courageous. Yeah, courage. Yeah,
For me, it's a balance of not giving a shit and giving a shit at the same time.
yeah.
Passion and
Whatever happens, not bothered. That's confidence. Yeah, it's that the confidence comes after the fact of doing the thing that you were scared to do.
It's like letting go of the outcome almost.
I would say so. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Failure is something you learn.
yeah.
Maybe fail.
Like it's recognizing that failure is learning. That's
Yeah.
another way I see
Just
confidence.
not calling it failure in the first place. No, it's just learning.
It's just learning.
I'll just do it.
Yeah, I learned what not to do. Yeah,
being alright with failure.
being all right with failure.
It is a big learning curve. I think failure is good.
Easier to get older.
Good to learn.
Yeah,
Not to be scared of it.
yeah, absolutely. And those two techniques that I shared with you so far are really beneficial to help us move out of that zone of thinking, like that scared zone. Because all we want to do is be in our comfort zones, right? That's all our brain and body wants to do is just stay where we are, stay nice and safe. It's what we're designed to do. So when it's the idea of stepping out of that into the unknown, we're immediately going to be faced with some kind of fear, uncertainty in some way, shape, or form.
Or it could be the opposite.
Do you want to explain?
Very run into situations
Yeah,
and be the one that loves to
Head
do
first.
it head first. And
straight
then
to the bottom of the
think
pool,
afterwards.
crack your head open.
Have no fear, and then go.
Mm.
And then after the fact, feel like
Yeah,
now I feel like an idiot. Yeah, you can do flip-flop.
absolutely.
But then still get to the same conclusion of like it's okay.
And that's just using our body, isn't it? The feelings to determine how we feel about something. We don't know until we do it.
The reactions, I think, is how you react.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So by using your body, having your head up, shoulders back, it's actually going to put you in a better state of mind. So even if you're a dive head straight first kind of person, or whether you're a very logical thinker and you're having this dialogue with yourself about whether you should or you shouldn't, or you're just one of those worst case scenario people that, you know, you're going to die with everything that you do no matter what. Whatever that situation is, if you can approach it from head up, shoulders back, and eyes up is the very most important bit about that, because we can have our head up and chest up, but we can be looking down. And if you all do this right now and look down, you can very easily become disappointed and pissed off and yeah. Where if your eyes are looking up, you can very easily access, your brain goes through a very different part and it accesses all of those positive problem solving skills, your imagination, your creativity. So you're accessing a different part of you completely, as opposed to when you're looking down, when you're accessing all the negative aspects of your emotions and whatnot, or not necessarily always negative, but just the emotional side of things. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, think about somebody who's depressed. What's their body language? Yeah, it's this, isn't it? Yeah. So the first thing that I teach anybody who's depressed is this body position, training themselves to be head up, shoulders back as often as possible. When you're walking around the house, when you're washing up, when you're on the toilet, when you go to the shop, when you're driving your car, obviously you still have to have your vision. So go slightly above normal eye level. So my normal walking day is eyes just slightly above normal eye level. I always imagine that a person in front of me, I'm just slightly looking over their shoulders. And then it keeps me out of a negative state very easily. It's just a good way to train yourself. Could you all feel the emotion increasing, getting stronger when you were turning it up?
It was getting faster for me, like a
Yeah.
film where you see someone's life in little bits.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how much power you really have. And we all think our emotions run the show, right? So, right, hang on, let me check my little list. What did I say I was going to do? Oh yeah, so the next thing then is I want us to take a moment just to connect with confidence, about what it means for you, how you represent confidence, What is it like? Because as we said, earlier on, what even is confidence? How do you define it? How do you know when you're confident? What does it look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like for you? What does it smell? What does it taste like? What is your representation of it? So we're just going to spend about 2 minutes connecting with your confidence. And there's no right or wrong about this. And if you're sat there thinking, well, I never feel confident, I have no idea, you will have a time in your life when you were confident at doing something. You would have done something confidently. So if you're not fully aware of the feeling, or you don't really know what that feeling's like for you or anything like that, and I have no idea, it could be as simple as getting dressed in the morning. It could be being confident at brushing your teeth. It could be being confident at making a cup of tea. Make sense? Yeah. All right. So nice deep breath in. Fill your lungs all the way up. And then as you breathe out, just let your eyes close all the way down completely. And all I want you to do is just begin to think of a time and place when you were confident, or that feeling of confidence, in whatever way is right for you. And as you get a sense of that confidence, in whatever way is right for you, whether you feel it, whether you see it, whether you hear it, whether you smell or taste it, just become aware of what you can notice. And if you are sitting with your head down trying to access your confidence, notice what it's like when you lift your head up slightly and let your eyes roll up under those closed eyelids. And just notice what it's like for you now. And as you've done that for yourself, just allow your eyes to open and come back to the space that you're in. Good. All right, short and sweet. We are going to go into it a little bit more detail, a little bit longer before we finish up here today. But I want to ask, what did you notice about that in the first instance?
So I noticed that when I'm feeling confident, I can speak clearly about me wishes, my goals, my thoughts, my feelings.
Mm-hmm.
That's opposite to when I'm not feeling confident. I can be clear in communication.
Yeah, so you could see yourself doing those things.
Yeah.
Nice. Excellent. Anyone else?
My confidence situation was with the clients. I see my clients on Zoom, and so my head was a bit down because I was looking at the screen. And then when you said to put your head up, I was like, but I can't see my client anymore.
You need a shorter stool.
Yeah, I've put it up so you've got your camera's a little bit higher, so your eye level with your client, or just slightly above. Yeah.
My one was so I used to sing in operas, and I played a role where I was a teenage boy.
Uh-huh.
So I had to act new, so I looked at how men moved, and I take up so much more space. And so I moved like a man, and I noticed how much more just space and kind of width.
Yeah.
I allowed myself.
Nice.
And so I'm here.
Yeah.
There we go. So I thought back to when I was playing with the boy.
Love it.
To bring here,
it would.
The mindset of a man. Oh, I not thought about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. We're trying to stay small a bit, aren't we?
Yeah. Well, it's using your body language to display a different message, isn't it? In the same way, having your head up and shoulders back displays a different message to, if I was doing this workshop now, would you guys believe anything that I was saying? Probably not.
I think a bit bored. I'd be like,
yeah, I'd be like, do you really want to be here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do, I promise. Do. Exactly, right? Yeah, I was having a creative moment and thought, oh, what can I make? I'll make a t-shirt. Yeah. Anyway, anybody else want to share what it was like for them to access their confidence?
I noticed that I'll be confident if there's no doubt. As soon as the doubt comes in, it takes all the confidence away. Just that simple thing, doubt, and it just takes it all
Ah,
If
yeah.
there's no doubt, I'll be confident with anything. But as soon as the doubt comes in, it takes it. It's gone.
Yeah. So you've got a criteria, haven't you? Like, as long as this is happening, then I'll be all right.
Yeah, doing anything.
Mm.
But as long as the doubt's there, that the confidence won't be as powerful as the doubt. That's got to be go. It's got to go all together.
Yeah.
So that was it. That's just what came to me there.
Yeah. And I mean, the reason why I asked is to essentially kind of just point out the fact that we all have very, very different representations of what confidence means for us, how we access it, what it's like for us, and what it brings up for us, right? So often we compare ourselves to other people, which makes us feel, oh, I'm not confident because I'm not like them. Yeah. And I bring that up again just because when we compare ourselves to other people, it's probably one of the most unhelpful things we can do for ourselves. Because the only person you can compare yourself to is you, right? Who you were last week, last year. Have I moved on? Have I grown? Have I developed? If you have, round of applause. If you haven't, well, maybe it's time to do some work, you know. But essentially, that's all we can do is compare ourselves to ourselves. And because you have a very unique representation, I mean, we're just working on confidence, but this goes for anything. This goes on everything and anything about us. We're unique down to the very core of us. So by comparing yourself to somebody else is absolutely pointless. It's no benefit to you whatsoever. So if you find yourself doing that, head up, shoulders back, fists of fury, and then this technique that I'm also going to share with you. And this one is one of my all-time favorites. It's used by professional athletes, coaches, it's used in the world of performance, it's used in politics. And it's called mental rehearsal. I just call it acted out. And some people get caught up in the idea, oh, it's just visualization. Well, it isn't. There's so much more to it than just that. So if you're somebody who might not see things with the mind, or you're not aware of seeing things in your mind, or the movies that you make, it really doesn't matter. All right. When I first learned this technique about 12 years ago, it was all feeling. There was no visual sense going on for me whatsoever. And I've used this time and time again through many situations, and it's a brilliant one for your own personal development. It's a brilliant one for enabling you to create a familiarity with the thing that you're scared to do. So do you remember how I said before that your brain is literally designed to keep you in your comfort zone? It wants to keep us safe. Doing something new is unfamiliar, it's scary. The moment you do something and you're like, oh, it wasn't so bad, right? What was I even scared of? What we can do with these techniques and with hypnosis is allows us to put into a position where it's as if we've already been through the situation, because your nervous system doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. Just like how you can get lost in a movie. Now I watched How to Train Your Dragon the other day. Oh, it was absolutely brilliant. Yeah. And I've watched the cartoon like hundreds of times, you know. And it was really good. If you haven't seen it, I totally recommend it. But I was crying, you know, when Hiccup, and I knew he wasn't dead. I've seen the movie a million times, right? And I knew, and I know that they're all actors, and I know that they're all dressed up. Yet there I am, still caught up in the emotion. And the lass that I was with was looking at me like, oh, you're so embarrassing. You know, it was one of my clients that I went with. So just like how you can remember a time in the past and be like, oh, that was amazing that day, and it brings lots of joy to you. Or just in the same way, you can think about something in the future that hasn't even happened yet, and here you are freaking out about it. So your nervous system doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's not real. So we want to utilize that. We want to use what's already available to us. And this is nothing new, okay? You're already doing this all the time anyway, whether you're aware of it or not. We're always predicting what might happen. How will it be? What will it be like? And we're creating all of the time those different scenarios. So we want to do it on purpose and in the way that we want it to be. And now we can't control the outside world. We can't control outside elements or other people. But what we can control is how we're responding in that situation. And that's when it comes down to our confidence level, because essentially we're like, oh, well, I'm not very confident, so I know when this happens, I'm going to respond like this. And we're already creating a scenario that isn't in our best interests. So this technique allows us to create a scenario that is in our best interests, to like practicing the feeling of being in a certain state. Nobody teaches how to do that. They teach us how to practice our sport or our thing, the physical thing, but how we actually feel doing it, we don't actually get taught how to practice that. So this is great for that. I had a client who had choked on her food and her husband had to do the Heimlich maneuver on her. She had to have medical treatment. It was a horrific thing for her that she went through. She ended up spending about 6 months doing various different therapies. And although she'd made some progress, she was still on a liquid diet a year on. Whenever she was, so she couldn't even be around food, but then she'd progress and could be in the same room as food and not freak out, but she wouldn't eat food. So this was obviously having a huge impact on her health, on her work. She was having lots of time off work because she just couldn't function properly being on the diet that she was on. And there was lots of things that I could have done with her. There's lots and lots of different methods that I could have used with her. Hypnosis isn't the only thing that I do. However, this just seemed absolutely perfect for her to do, because what she'd created was this image in her mind, this replaying of this, I'm going to choke. I know if I eat that, I'm going to choke. And that's all she believed. And she'd had CBT, she'd had EMDR, she'd been for psychotherapy, and she just couldn't bypass this whole situation of I'm going to choke. So I taught her this technique, and then the next session she came, she brought a yogurt with lumpy bits in it. Actually, we did orange juice first. We did orange juice. We went from orange juice with bits in it, then we went to a yogurt with bits in it, and then we went to a strawberry, and then we went to a banana, and then sandwich, and then she's fine now. But all we did was just create a different scenario. So this isn't just about being confident and feeling confident in yourself. Like, as I said before, it's getting yourself into a position to do the thing you were scared to do. That's all it is. It's about getting you ready to do the thing you were scared to do. The confidence comes afterwards. Make sense? All right. So for this one, I think it's better for everybody to be standing up. Yeah. All right. So at some point, I will ask you just to take one step forward. So just make sure that when you're taking that one step forward, you're not going to trip over anything or anything like that.
Just move it a little together.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. You're probably better off stood on it anyway, so it won't blow away then. All right. So when you're ready, I want you to start to think about that version of you of being confident, what it'll look like, what it'll sound like, what it'll feel like, and get an idea of, so if you're doing a talk, having that confident version of you doing the talk. If you've got a job interview coming up, seeing yourself or feeling yourself going through that interview perfectly, confidently, however you want to do it. So we're creating something. Does this make sense? Yeah. So take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe on out, let those eyes close all the way down, and just feeling your feet on the floor, feeling those feet nice and steady. That's it. And just begin to create that sense of a version of you who's already confident in just the way that you want it, and have it out in front of you. And whether you can see that, whether you can hear that, whether you feel it, or just have a sense of knowing of that confident you. And as you've done that for yourself, I want you to make it even better. See yourself doing that thing confidently. And just notice what it's like. And as you've got that for yourself, allow your eyes to open and then immediately close back down. And this time I want you to make it even better. So eyes closed, make it even better. Make the colours even brighter, the sights even clearer, the sounds clearer, whatever's right for you. Those feelings more intense. And I want you to really hone in on that version of you, get a real sense of what they look like, what they sound like, what they feel like. Even becoming aware of those thoughts that they're having in their own mind, those things that they're saying to themselves. And just really getting a sense of that now. Good. And allow those eyes to open and then immediately close back down. And then this time I want you to make that version of you doing that confident thing, whatever that scene is for you, make it even better. So add to it, make it even better. Notice the posture, notice the gestures, notice the things that you're saying. Notice the things around that version of you. Just make it even better in whatever way is right for you. And then as you've done that for yourself, as you've made those improvements, when you are ready, I want you to take a step forward so that you are fully stepping into that version of you when you are ready now, stepping into it and just allowing yourself to feel that in your own body, see it through your own eyes, hear it in your own ears, and experience that situation as if you are there now, going through that situation in just the way that's right for you. That's right. Good. And as you've done that for yourself and you're satisfied with that, just allow those eyes to open and come and sit back down. Good. All right, well done.
Making me feel more confident as well.
Having the music, yeah.
Over there. They're all chilling. They're all going through.
I know, yeah. All right, so does anybody want to share what did they notice about that? What was that like?
I know I can do what I can see. I know what to do. It's just I know I haven't got the confidence to get in there and do it. So I don't even know if it's confidence. I think I'm more frightened. Is that confidence?
Well, yeah, we can be scared to do. So the confidence, remember, comes after doing the thing you were scared to do.
You've got to feel that little.
Yeah.
So I haven't got no issues with the little image, the story that I know I can do it. It's just getting there.
So then my advice to you then is so this is about rehearsing. So now you've got this image, this positive version of you doing that thing confidently that you want to do. The work then becomes repetitiveness of that. So then we start to create this familiarity with it. It's like where it becomes this sense of knowing. So rather than it go into the fear, it's like, oh, this thing that's good, where I'm confident, yeah? I know you've got to shoot, yeah. It's all right. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll finish 5 minutes early. That was a big lie. So essentially the work then becomes head up, shoulders back as often as possible. They're acting it out. Yeah, I'll catch you later. Acting it out, mentally rehearsing how you want it to be, how you want to feel in that situation, because you're creating that familiarity in your mind and in your body. Yeah, so I always recommend when you've got a specific thing that you want to get done, is to use that technique 2 or 3 times a day, but every day. So I mean, you can spend a minute doing that, you can spend 5 minutes, you can spend 15 minutes. As long as you can keep that focus is how long I would recommend you doing it for. So if you're somebody who meditates quite often, or you have that ability just to sit with yourself and control your mind to stay focused on something. But if you're doing it and you're wandering off elsewhere, if you can pull yourself back in, crack on. If you can't, 1 minute is enough. 30 seconds is enough. As soon as that scenario starts playing out in a negative sense, stop, start the exercise from the beginning. Yeah, makes sense? Yeah? Anyone else want to share what that was like?
I think I'm going to need some more practice.
Yeah.
I was doing exactly what you said. Like, yeah, I was the confident image was very fleeting, and then the negative things are coming in. So
Yeah, and this is great because it allows us to have that awareness of what's really going on here. Where do I really need to do the work?
Yeah.
But the stronger you can create this sense of doing those things and having a happy ending or having a positive feeling of doing it, the more motivated we become to actually wanting to do it in the first place. Make sense? Yeah. All right. So the final thing is if we all kind of come a little bit closer together, I feel like we've got spread out a little bit more, and just because of the wind as well. That's it. So with this next one, I'll just guide you guys through this. But this one is an anchoring technique, a little bit like the Fist of You, but this time we're just going to pick a very subtle anchor. So this is one way you can use anytime, anywhere, without anyone even knowing that you're doing anything. And it's perfect, like if you have to walk out onto a stage or in the moment you just want to switch your confidence on. It really kind of forces you to adapt a different state. For the trigger, for the stimulus, or for what I call an anchor, I'm going to ask you just to use a finger and thumb. So you can choose either hand, left hand or your right hand. It can be any finger. I just do that one, it's easier. It's always better just to do one hand as well, because say if you're in a meeting perhaps and you're holding something or you've got a microphone or whatever, you can just use it on one hand. So when I say squeeze that finger and thumb, I mean, you don't even have to decide now, but that's essentially what I mean, okay, on either hand. So get yourself into a nice, relaxed position. Let me just get my little cheat sheet so I don't waffle my words. Get yourself into a nice, relaxed position. Be comfortable. And we'll just spend the next couple of minutes, not long, because I don't want to run over too much. And get a sense of that confident feeling that you want to experience more of. Take a nice deep breath in. Fill those lungs all the way up and then breathe all the way out. Allow those eyes to close all the way down completely. And I just want you to allow yourself to relax just a little bit more than what you have already today. And just take a moment to begin to relax those eyelids. They're some of the smallest muscles in your face, some of the smallest muscles in your entire body. And even with this crazy wind, we can still allow ourselves to relax. And just relax those eyelids all the way down completely, all the way to the point where it's as if they just won't work. Relaxing them so completely. And when you know that you've relaxed them all the way down, just like powering off a TV, just like turning off your phone, just like shutting down the laptop, when you know that you've relaxed those tiny muscles and those eyelids all the way down completely to the place where it's as if they just won't work, just give them a little test. Just try and open those eyelids and they just relax down even further. That's right. Just like checking a door to make sure that it's locked. Just give them a little test. Just relax them all the way down. That's right. Good. And quit testing and just send that relaxation that you've created, just send that down through your body, just like a nice, comfortable wave of relaxation all the way down to the tips of your toes. That's right. In whatever way is right for you. Feeling good, feeling relaxed. Good. And in a moment, not yet, but in a moment, I'm going to ask you to open those eyes and then immediately close them back down. And when we do that, that's just going to help you to relax just that little bit more. As get ready, as allow those eyes to open and then immediately close back down and just allow yourself to relax just a little bit more. That's right. Good. And I want you to become aware of that feeling that you wish to experience more of. That feeling of confidence that you want to feel more of. And as you know you want to experience that sensation, that feeling of confidence is already there within the vocabulary of your mind and of your body. And as I count from 1 onwards, I want you to let that positive feeling come up more and more within you as one. Let that positive feeling rise within you now as 2, coming up more and more as 3, coming up strongly now as 4, becoming strong and as powerful as it ever has been as 5. There it is, and it's a bridge to the past. As you focus on that feeling, it is connected to every time in your life you felt that confident feeling. As I count from 5 to 1, I want you to follow that feeling to a time where you felt that confident feeling as 5. Following that feeling back to a specific experience now as 4. Perhaps becoming younger or smaller as 3. An earlier time, an earlier situation as 2. Connect through your eyes, your ears, your body as 1. Be there now as if it's happening all over again. And as you answer these questions in your mind, that will take you even deeper into the experience. Is it daytime or nighttime? Are you inside or outside? Are you alone or are you with someone? Go into that experience now, fully and completely, stepping into that experience, feeling it through your own body. Be there now. And just allow that feeling to begin to increase more and more within you. Allow your mind and body to remember that sensation. Allow it to increase and get stronger. And go ahead, take that finger and thumb, squeeze that finger and thumb now as you allow that feeling to intensify, to increase, to get stronger. And as you're squeezing that, as you're allowing that feeling of confidence to intensify, project yourself into that experience of where you want this behavior available to you, where you want this resource and this feeling available to you. Project yourself into that experience now and feel that success flow throughout you. That's right. Release that finger and thumb, release that feeling, allow those eyes to open and then immediately close back down. Go back into that experience, and this time, as you access that old experience of confidence, allow that feeling to increase even more. Let it get bigger, better, brighter, in whatever way is right for you. Allow it to increase. Allow it to intensify. Feel it spread throughout your entire body. Feel that sensation spread throughout you, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, from the tips of your toes all the way back over you. Let it wash over you. Let it intensify, whatever's right for you. And again, squeeze that finger and thumb. Allow that feeling to increase, just like turning up a dimmer switch from 0 to 100. Allow it to increase as you squeeze that finger and thumb. And as you squeeze that finger and thumb, connecting with that confidence, again, project yourself into that situation where you wish to have this confidence available to you. Go through that situation, feeling the success flowing throughout you now. Breathing into that. This is nothing new. This is who you are. This is completely organic. This was already there within you. Squeeze into that. Let it intensify a little bit more, just like it's beginning to reach the peak of a mountain, and then release. Relax. Breathe. And just notice now what it's like when you bring that feeling of confidence up all by yourself, without the inflection of my voice, without any suggestions from me. Notice how easy it is now. Allow those eyes to open and then close back down. Take a nice deep breath in and connect with that confidence again. And this time, notice the sights, the sounds, the sensations, the colours, whatever it is for you. Allow yourself to remember that sensation. And when you're satisfied with that, just try and turn off that feeling. Notice what happens instead. That's right. Good. Allow yourself to connect with that feeling in whatever way is right for you. And when you're satisfied with that, Allow your eyes to open, come back fully to the space that you're in, feeling good, feeling refreshed, ready for the afternoon. And you do feel good, don't you? Well done, ladies. What was that like? Anybody want to share? What did you notice? What does it feel like? Lovely. Nice. What was that for you, Saffron?
It was really, I was in my GCSE maths exam. I really enjoyed it.
I love it. I love a maths person. That is brilliant. Ah!